This is an exclusive preview of my audiobook for Inner Entrepreneur, A Proven Path to Profit and Peace, released with Penguin Audio. The book and audiobook are available for pre-order everywhere books are sold. Inner Entrepreneur comes out March 11th, 2025. If you're listening to this before that date and pre-order the book, please forward your receipt to grant@grantsabatier.com to receive access to pre-order bonuses like my 8-hour financial freedom course and access to a live Q&A with me. I hope you enjoy this preview from Chapter 2. Peace isn't an experience free of challenges, free of rough and smooth. It's an experience that's expansive enough to include all that arises without feeling threatened. Pema Chodron. The doctor looked me in the eyes and got straight to the point. Grant, if you keep going this way, I don't know how long you're going to last. I was in my early 30s and my blood pressure was through the roof. I wasn't sleeping well and I'd gained over 50 pounds during my pursuit of becoming a millionaire. For 5 years, I'd pursued money like an addict. I naively thought that it would solve all my problems, make me happy, and bring me more peace. So I chased it at the expense of everything else. But it only magnified my problems. If you don't take the time to do the inner work to figure out what you really want and need, chasing more money becomes an aimless pursuit. Leaving the doctor's office that day, I was ready for a change. Thankfully, the money I had earned to that point gave me space and time to breathe and figure out who I was and what I wanted. When I was 25, I'd set out to become a millionaire by the age of 30, so I'd never have to work for money again. Only a few years into a career in corporate America, I realized that the time and life energy I was spending doing a job that I hated in exchange for a steady paycheck wasn't worth it. So I set out to learn everything I could about money and started experimenting with entrepreneurship to increase my net worth. Eventually, I co-founded a digital marketing agency and consulting firm that helped me reach my goal of becoming a millionaire by 30. However, it came with a cost. The work was time-consuming and stressful, and I didn't care about it. Fortunately, the wake-up call at my doctor's office made me realize that I didn't have to do it anymore. I'd already reached financial independence, but it was only then that I decided to take advantage of it. As a passion project, I had started Millennial Money, a website and community where I shared my story to help others achieve financial independence. By the time I left the consulting world, the site was getting a few hundred visitors a month, but it wasn't a business. I hadn't set out to make it a business. Using the new space that I'd created in my life by leaving my job, I decided to lean into Millennial Money while working to regain my health. It took me a while to fully detox from the corporate grind and stop relentlessly focusing on money, but slowly, I started opening up to the world and feeling a more profound peace settle into my life. I was calmer. My blood pressure came down without medicine. I started sleeping better. I wasn't stressed all the time. Most days, I was happy. I was growing my mind and my life was starting to look how I wanted it to look. I was starting to flow into a life that I loved. The following chapters will show you exactly how to start, build, and grow a business. But before we dive into the how, I want to take a moment to explore the why. The reason you want to start a business in the first place. I often see new entrepreneurs rush from idea to idea or opportunity to opportunity without having a way to filter out what's best for them. Doing this inner work up front will make it easier for you to make choices and trade-offs that move you toward a business and a life you love. Most books about business and finance assume that the reader's ultimate goal is to make more money, but a singular focus on acquiring more money limits money's potential to expand our lives. Money is not merely an object. Money is energy. How you direct this energy determines how much impact it can have on your life. Like money, energy can either be spent or invested. Are you making money doing something you love or something that makes you miserable? Do you spend it or compound it? Do you use it to create or destroy? Do you have enough, not enough, or more than you need? When you expend energy, you use it up and then have to expend additional energy to make more. When you invest energy, it compounds and grows exponentially. Certain activities, like working at a job you hate, waiting in traffic, attending a boring event, or spending time with people you don't care about, deplete your energy. This has detrimental long-term effects on your health and happiness. The most successful and happiest entrepreneurs can use and align this energy to enrich their lives significantly. They ride it like a wave. They understand that you can want more while simultaneously having enough. There's an effortlessness and lightness to their business that feels right. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it's challenging, fun, and deeply satisfying. Most important, it makes them feel alive. I encourage you to think for a second. Why do you want more money? What do you intend to do with this extra energy? Is it more money that you want or something else? I call this money masking. It's easy to think that we want more money when what we really want is more time, less stress, more peace, more companionship, more time with our families, and more options. While doing this work, you might realize that you already have what you seek. Maybe you've already won the game. Money is easy to chase, which is why most people do it. It's easier to chase money than to do the deeper work of going inside, to uncover what you really want, not what you've been conditioned to want. This can be tough work, but there's no path to true fulfillment that doesn't require this introspection. If you're not honest with yourself, there will always be a lack in your life. If you can figure out what you want from your business, you can use that reason as a powerful filter for every opportunity and trade-off you face down the line. Entrepreneurship requires trade-offs, especially in the beginning. You must trade your time and energy to get the business up and running into a place of sustainability. The question is, are these trade-offs worth it? For example, if you want to spend more time with your kids, you should build your business to help you do that. Kids are only kids for so long. But I often see people saying they want to spend more time with their family, and then they work 60-hour weeks for years when they don't have to. They're racked with guilt and get stuck just chasing more money. What trade-offs you're willing to make are up to you, but make sure you're building a business that aligns with and supports the type of life you want. To help guide you, I've identified 7 truths about entrepreneurship that I've uncovered in my journey or seen in the journey of others who have built profitable businesses while staying clear on their larger priorities and principles and cultivating peaceful lives. I will refer back to these truths throughout the book as a way for you to check in with yourself. Think of them as a lens that you can look through when evaluating a business or opportunity. Truth number 1. Freedom comes from limits, not unlimited choices. I remember the first time that my mom said I could ride my bike past the end of the street and into the woods alone. For the first 7 years of my life, the edge of my block was as far as I could go, my boundary, the limits of my world, set by my parents. But on this day, without notice, the limits were lifted. Suddenly, anything and everything became possible. I was no longer being watched or monitored. Instead of my parents setting the boundaries, I was free to set my own. If I'd wanted to ride my bike 6 miles into Washington, D.C., I could, but I'd set a limit on not going further than the elementary school up the hill, just beyond the woods. This was uncharted territory, and I needed to fill it out. Over the next several months, I constructed an elaborate fort deep within those woods with my neighbor Bryce. We took great pride in collecting and assembling fallen limbs so the fort was sturdy and protected from intruders. We covered it with an old tarp to keep us dry. For the first time, we had a space to call our own, and we had infinite time until the dinner bell rang from down the hill to call us home. This was our space of freedom. Wanting to have complete freedom and living with it are 2 different things. True freedom is so immense that you need boundaries to function. You need to set up your own space of freedom. If you don't create this space, set the boundaries, and build your walls, then you default to the limits that society, class, and the world place on you. You'll get stuck inside someone else's limits if you don't set your own. If you don't make choices, the world will choose for you. We tend to think of freedom as having unlimited choices. Research shows that having too many choices creates stress, confusion, and dissatisfaction in our lives. This is called the paradox of choice. When we limit our choices, it's easier to make decisions, and we feel more confident in them. When you have more money, you will naturally have more choices. By creating limits for yourself based on what you truly want and what you don't want, you'll be able to make better choices and feel more fulfilled. Remember, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Choices drive your business, and the limits keep you focused. The best business owners are great at making choices quickly because they've consciously and subconsciously developed filters and frameworks for their decision-making. As more innovations hit the market, from cryptocurrency to the rise in AI, and as more entrepreneurs try to capitalize on them, protecting your time and energy becomes increasingly necessary. You need to insulate yourself from distractions so you can focus on what's important in your life. It's true that there's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur, but if you're constantly diverting your attention to the next new opportunity, you'll follow the herd off the cliff instead of walking your own path. With the right mindset, strategy, and skills, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. As you become more successful, you will open up possibilities that you've never imagined. The better you become at making money, the better you will be at spotting opportunities to make money. There is freedom in this state of being, but the paradox of freedom is that it exists only within limits, because we have only a limited amount of time. Thank you for listening to this preview. Inner Entrepreneur, A Proven Path to Profit and Peace is available March 11th, 2025, everywhere books are sold, and available for pre-order now. Thank you, as always, for listening, and I'll see you soon.